Hey everyone, it's Claire Barton again, and on today's blogcast, I would like to introduce you to the 3 email automation series that you should have at some point in your business. I know when you get started, there's all of these shoulds and coulds and all of these opportunities, and when you're first getting started in business, it can get a little bit overwhelming. I'm not saying you need to start everything with this, but at some point in your business, when your business gets a little bit more established and you've got some beautiful people coming into your business through various different opt-ins and ways to get onto your email list and that sort of thing, there's definitely some beautiful and really easy to set up automation series that will help you to educate, inform and inspire your beautiful people who are in your tribe, who have been magnetically brought to you, and they are there because they want to hear more about you and they want to learn things. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about what will go into each of these. I'll introduce a few of the concepts and the reasons and the purpose of having these, and just tell you a bit about which 3 automated series you might want to already have set up into your business. So the first one is the thing that you've probably heard about before. It's usually called a list induction sequence, or a new client nurturing sequence, or a list nurturing sequence. It goes by many names. This is basically the series of emails that someone would receive from you when they go onto your main mailing list. So that can happen in a number of ways. They might sign up to receive your newsletter via your website or your Facebook page, or they might go onto your main list after they've received an opt-in, a content upgrade. It might be a checklist or a printable or a meditation or a challenge or a webinar or something like that. But whatever happens when they get onto your list, however they've gotten onto your list, it's a really beautiful way to induct them into you and your business and your way of doing things. Now, everyone who teaches this teaches a very different method, and it is different for everyone's business, and there's a reason for that. Everyone has different businesses. You get to decide how this works, and it's based on what works for you and what sort of information you want to be putting out there and what you're comfortable with, including everything from the frequency to the type of content that goes into those emails, but more importantly, to your tribe. So you've got to really understand how your tribe wants to take this information in, how often they're happy to be emailed by you, how often they're happy to have an email come into their inbox from you, and how they want to receive that, what sort of information. So there's a lot of variables that go into that. What the whole idea of it is to show people a bit about who you are, what you do, maybe a little bit about your why you're in business, what you stand for, and usually what sort of services and products that you have available and why. So if someone has come onto your list because they liked your website or they read a blog and they really connected with it, they might not know all of the other parts of your business. So it's really important to give them an opportunity to learn a bit more about who you are and what you do. So the first couple of emails, the first couple of emails are normally about the thing or the way that they've connected with you. So you're often, talking about the blogs that you write. You're usually trying to give as much information and as much quality as you can without being pushy and salesy and all of that sort of thing. And then working in how you can find out some more information about them. So this can be as connective or as disconnective as possible. My favorite way is to say, shoot me an email, reply to this email. I love nothing more than getting replies to my newsletters and to my emails and that sort of thing. So often at the bottom, I'll have a little, I'll ask a question or something because I love getting replies. So you could actually invite them to reply to you, right through to having polls or surveys where you can get even more in-depth information from people as well. So there's lots of opportunities there. And then once you've done that and you've given some really great value, you might share some really great resources, whether they're yours or other people's resources that you're always referring to. It could be sending them some special video content that you've created about a certain thing. It could be sharing some behind the scenes information or a bit more about your story. And then at the end, you can also introduce them to other ways that they might be able to work with you. So you might tell them about some of your services and products, for example, and have an easy way for them to click to either purchase something or to go onto a new list or to get another freebie or to book a call with you or to actually book some paid work or something like that. So there's usually a call to action, and people kind of miss out if you're not giving them an opportunity of how they can connect and how they can take the next step. They don't really know what to do, so it's okay to give them a bit of that information as well. So that's the first one. That's your list induction series. The second series that you will want to have set up at some point is the nurture series that goes with a specific content upgrade or a specific opt-in. So an opt-in or a content upgrade, the options for these are massive, obviously. It can be anything from a webinar to a PDF printable. It could be a guided meditation, an audio version. It could be a video series, a challenge. There's so many different things that an opt-in could be. So whatever it is that you're using as people call them lead magnets or content upgrades or opt-ins, it's a thing that people get in return for giving you their email address. And as we know, people are often more reluctant to give you their email address than they are to part with their money. So, giving people some really beautiful quality value, high value things in exchange for their email address, because it's a very guarded and personal thing to be able to give out your email address. So if someone's given you the email address, you obviously have to send them the thing or give them access to the thing, whatever that is, challenge, webinar, PDF. But it's a beautiful opportunity to also introduce them to you and what you stand for and why this opt-in, why this thing fits with your business and why it's important, why it's an important first step to working with you. So in addition to sending them the thing or the email with the link to get into the thing or inviting them into the group or whatever it is, there's a few emails that can happen after that work really beautifully as well. So depending on which platform you're using and how techie you want to be, you can send follow-up emails specific to people who haven't clicked on a link and remind them that it's there, or haven't clicked on a button to download the thing to remind them to do so. Straight through to just sending an email maybe a week later or a few days later, asking them how they're finding it. Have they done that activity? Do they have any questions? Here's another resource, or here's another freebie, or here's how some people in the past have used this resource, or something like that. And then right through to you might have an upsell or something. So say if you're offering a freebie, then the next step, once they've done that freebie, might be to come and do some work with you or to join a course or something like that. So to also invite them to take the next step, because if we don't tell people what the next step is, what it could be, what their options are, it gets a bit confusing, and that's not what we want our clients to feel. It's not what we want people in our community to feel. They've come to you to get the thing. They're obviously interested in that thing, and they probably want to know what the next logical step is as well. So inviting them to take the next step and making it very clear and obvious of how they can do that, how much it's going to cost, how much time it's going to take, all of that sort of thing needs to be into your email opt-in series as well. The third type is a new client induction. So when someone has already committed to working with you, it might be a one-off session, it could be a series of sessions, or it could even be a course. I'm going to talk about this as a new client, especially if it's just new for one-on-one or VIP work that you might be doing. Now, this could be done through your email platform, or it can usually be done through something like Acuity, sometimes even Calendly, depending on who you're using for your online booking sequence. You might not even have to do the whole automation sequence in your email platform. You can usually just do it in your online booking, depending on how technical and how many emails you want them to get. I won't get too techie. But having a new client series that welcomes people in, that helps them to feel like, helps them to remain excited about working for you. Sometimes when people book in for a session, there might be a week or two before they get started, or even longer. So you want people to really, really know that they've made the right decision and not to have any of that buyer's remorse. So as soon as someone has booked and paid, it's really beautiful if you can send them a little bit of an email series, an automated series of emails to say, hey, thank you so much, you've made the right decision. This is what to expect. You might give them some more free resources or some more, blogs or something that will help them to stay excited and to understand exactly what their work with you might look like. This could be as simple as just one email. It might be a couple if there's going to be a bit of a break in between when they've booked and when they actually start doing the work. But how nice is it when you've booked with someone and you start immediately getting this beautiful email nurture sequence rather than just hearing crickets until you have your first session. You can include some really practical things in this series, such as what they need to prepare beforehand. Is there a survey or questionnaire that you need them to fill out, such as their health history or their business details or some goal setting or something like that. So you can send them through a link to fill out a survey, right through to, again, inviting them to reply and tell you what is it that they want to work on exactly, or what outcomes are they hoping to achieve from working with you. Because then you can also tailor your work with them and your very first session to be based around exactly what they're hoping to get. So that's the 3 series that you can at some point have set up in your business. The first one, just to recap, is the list induction. So this is just your generic list induction. Whenever someone comes onto your list, no matter how it is, what sort of information do you want them to understand, think, feel, know, get, do when they come into your tribe, when they come onto your list. The second one is the opt-in nurture sequence. So every time you have a specific opt-in, a freebie, whether it's a freebie or low paid product, something that helps the people to finish or implement that thing, whatever it is, take the next step if they need to, and engage with you about why they need it and how they're using it and all of that sort of thing. And the third one is the new client series. So when someone has signed up to do some paid work with you, whether it's one-on-one or a course, a group style training or something like that, to have another beautiful email sequence that's just for them to really nurture them and help them to feel completely supported and stay excited about starting to do that work with you. So I hope that's been really helpful. As always, I do love to receive your questions, comments and queries. So either leave one of those at the bottom if you're watching this in social media or on the website, or feel free to send me an email and let me know as well. I love to see how you're going with your email, with your automated email sequences. It's my happy place. So if you've got any questions, please do let me know as well. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.